Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name's Chris and it's fantastic to have you back with us for another video. And in today's video, I'm going to pose the question, is there a sector in crypto, a particular sector in crypto, should I say, that people are sleeping on? I'm going to pose this question to you. I'd like you to let me know in the comments below what your thoughts and opinions are on what I'm about to cover today. If you enjoy this sort of content, mash up that like button. It really does support the channel. It helps push out the content to like-minded individuals. And Nick and myself, we really do appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Tap that bell is really important, selecting all the notifications so you never miss a piece of content. Nick and myself, we cover like 5 or 6 videos a day, so there's an awful lot of content, and crypto moves at about 1,000,000 miles an hour. So yeah, it's always good to hit that notification bell, make sure you get all the notifications. But let's get down to the desktop. Let's have a look at what I think people are missing or sleeping, missing the boat or sleeping on, right? So let's get down to the desktop. Okay, so this is where it all sort of stems from, right? Now, obviously, we've had the hack of $600 million worth of crypto, and you know this is obviously come from Axie Infinity game, right? And I'm not going to sort of do what everybody else is and jump on the bandwagon. What I'm going to do is sort of, I guess, highlight to you guys, perhaps this is something that a lot of people are sleeping on, right? Because there are protocols out there that, you know, are working in this sector to protect investors. So for me, like, just looking at this sort of stuff cannot continue. I mean, the BBC website's even picking it up, right? It's probably even been on the actual news on the television, right? And you know, this is not great for crypto adoption. All this negativity surrounding it, you know, there's definitely I guess a bias towards cryptocurrency from media outlets. Now, on the flip side, media outlets are now saying that cryptocurrency articles or news feeds are the most popular at the moment, right? There's a lot of interest in crypto related news articles, but you know, actually I think they're much further behind in their understanding of the technology, which doesn't help when they're trying to educate the masses, right? So ultimately I think the opportunity is in protocols that protect this sort of, like, you know, hacks and malicious activity in the space. So the first one that I want to sort of call out is Polyswarm, right? And this is a project that Nick and myself called out before it got listed on Coinbase, when it was less than 0.5%. Now, less than 0.5% resonates really well with this channel. We called out many projects at 0.5%, you know, the likes of VeChain, Harmony One, for example, Anchor Protocol, Multivac, for example. Like, the list goes on and on and on. I think, like, you know, a little bit higher than that, you would say Matic at like 1.5 cent, for example. But ultimately, just getting back on track here now, Polyswarm, you know, is a fantastic project in the respect of how it works in the background. If you want to find out more, do check out some of our earlier videos. We have had Steve, the CEO of Polyswarm, on the channel, so do check that interview out. We'd love to get him back on the show at some point. But ultimately, you know, it's to detect and respond to new and emerging malware faster is kind of the strap line here. It's really good, and I really do like the technology that sits behind it and what they're trying to do here. Very rewarding project, I kind of feel, and you just have to see some of the write-ups on what they've achieved in the media to realize what a fantastic project this was. Now, I mentioned that we highlighted this one at about 0.5%. It was under that, right? But I couldn't believe what I was reading. The team looks solid, the technology is amazing, and the use case is definitely required in this space. So for me, it sat in a point where it stood out against the crowd. Now, I'm not a financial advisor, but we've got an awesome track record here at Cheeky Crypto at highlighting these projects super early. Now, I still think that it's super early for this project, right? I don't think it's really hit the masses yet. You know, I remember seeing influencers talking about the Coinbase listing and talking about this project's come out of nowhere. This project's been around for a long time. It hasn't come out of nowhere. It's just actually people need to open their eyes and be more, I guess, open to the idea that projects outside of the top 50, you know, are still, you know, there's still gems in the rough, right? And this is what our channel does. We look for these, and not being funny, some of these projects just stand out like a sore thumb. 𝗕𝗪𝗀𝗰𝗂𝗧 was very much that. Nick and myself, we invested. So did a lot of the people in our Patreon service and our Discord. Do check out the links in the description if membership is of interest to yourself. A lot of those, you know, members, they got onto this project straight away. They went away after watching our video. They did their research and they realized or came to the same conclusion as Nick and myself. This was a project to definitely get involved in. But you've got to go away and do that research. I'm not a financial advisor, and this is educational purposes only, this content, right? But you know, if I was going to say one thing or give one piece of advice, it would be to set some time aside to read up about this project. We really do rate it, and I'm sure if you go away, you'll find the same stuff that we found, right? But yeah, a solid project, and ultimately at the moment it's less than 5 cents at 0.04132, down 0.47%, currently ranked 505 by market cap. And yeah, I think that there's a lot in the tank for this project. Don't take my word for it. Go research it. None of the stuff that Nick and myself talk about on this channel is endorsed or sponsored or paid content, right? Everything that we say is the truth as we see it, right? And we try to keep everything to the facts as best we can. Okay, so moving on, there are some other projects that I want to highlight that are in the same sector, right? And the sector really is security. It's about looking at these projects and thinking, you know what, these projects have got, you know, a real good opportunity. I don't think there's many people sort of taking much notice of this sector, and I think it's such an important one. When you consider the growth of the industry, these protocols can play a crucial role in the technology's evolution, in my opinion. But do let me know in the comments below what your thoughts and opinions are. I'd really do enjoy reading the comments. So smart contract security. Again, I think this is a huge need, a must in the business. Now, I'm talking from not just a YouTuber's perspective, right? Like Nick and myself, we run stake pools, for example. You know, this isn't like, you know, run of the mill, like anybody off the street can do. You need a bit of technical know-how to do it. So we run pools, and Nick and myself have actually set up our own project. It is an NFT project, but you know, there's lots of learnings that you make by sort of jumping into different aspects of the industry, right? So we run our own project. Now, the difficulties that Nick and myself found was finding trustworthy, reliable devs, right? Like for example, I reached out to many devs that we were looking to employ to build, you know, smart contracts and stuff like that. And this is where I think this comes in, you know, and would have a very, very you know, niche but good use case. Is, you know, there was 2 or 3 people that all mentioned they worked on the same project, and I know they didn't because I know the founder and the people that worked on that project, right? But had I not known, I could have potentially gone with somebody malicious. So I think it's really important in this sector to have protocols just like this. So definitely go do your research, take a look at this one. Again, I think it's another one to spend some time researching. The ticker is QSP. Just to mention for 𝗕𝗪𝗀𝗰𝗂𝗧, the ticker is NCT. Obviously you can get NCT on Coinbase. I think it's on Coinbase Pro. It might be on Coinbase the app as well now. I need to check on that. But yeah, you can get this one on Coinbase Exchange and Binance as well. So definitely go have a look at it. This one currently down 0.14% at 0.06895. Again, it's had a nice little sort of pullback with the market today. Again, I think, you know, this is a project to definitely look at. Rank 568th by market cap. Moving on to the third and final project, and this is Lossless. Now, this is a project that got an awful lot of airtime. Lots of people were talking about it. I believe it went on an absolute tear. We'll have a look at that in a moment. But I do feel that it's kind of pulled back a lot now, and again, is a fantastic project. They've done some wonderful things in the space, and I think it's definitely one to, you know, invest some of your time researching and see if it's one that resonates with you. But it, you know, had to make this list. It was definitely a project that, of interest, and I really do believe that people are sleeping on this sector. Everybody's talking about Web3, everybody's talking about metaverse, but nobody's really talking about security when there's huge problems in the space. $600 million worth of crypto being stolen is not acceptable in this day and age. Like, it just isn't, right? And I think that is something that needs to be cleared up in this space. Now, I'm probably going to upset a few people by saying this stuff, but I don't really, you know, I don't really care. It needs to be said when it needs to be said, and today's that day, right? And these projects, I think, are fantastic for the space. I think actually it's part of what's needed in alignment with the adoption curve that we're going through. You know, this is a space that, you know, from an adoption point of view, is growing much faster than any other technology in the history of mankind, right? Or womankind, you know, just to be politically correct. But ultimately, you know, again, Lossless is another project. I think it's awesome. I think it's one that people should definitely go take a look at. Rank 793rd by market cap, down 9.89%. I'm not a TA guy, but, you know, it might be a good opportunity to look at the charts and see if this is a good price to get into or not. But it's a 0.4261, so 42 cent 61 at the time of recording. And you know, I think this one's done really well in the past. I mean, if we have a look here, it did go on a bit of a run, yeah, over $2. So if we go down here and actually have a look at the finer detail, $2.72, it was its all-time high 5 months ago. So ultimately it's massively down. I think it's got a really, really good future in the space. I think it's a great project with a great use case. You know, it's a fantastic use case. So yeah, do let me know what your thoughts and opinions are on these three projects. Do you think people are sleeping on this particular sector within crypto? I believe they are. I think there's some ample opportunity, you know, if there's pullbacks to get into some of these projects. What I will say is, you know, this is a volatile market. Never invest more than you're willing to lose. I'm not a financial advisor, and, you know, for me, this should be treated as educational purposes only. I'm not suggesting to invest in these projects. I'm just highlighting what I see as I see it, and I would really appreciate you mashing up that like button, subscribing if you haven't subscribed already, tapping that bell, selecting all the notifications so you never miss a video, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. With that said, take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.